We are going to be debriefing and talking and checking in together about the process that we just experienced, which is so different, probably, from any process or most theatrical processes that you've been through before. Yes. So to talk a little bit about what we just did, we're working from an inside-out place where we're beginning to bring material in that's from our own personal experiences with a script that has not yet been written around a central theme, which for us is going to be is institutionalized trauma. So talking about that in a new and different way and bringing in our own personal narratives and experiences behind the material, so that when we're mining the script, it's actually being drawn from pieces and seeds of things that are coming out during our embodied process. And so now we can talk about it. We've just finished that process, and now we will dive in a little bit. And so, Ilks, I'm just going to let you guide, because I would like you to mine what you need to mine from this time for the show. Mine it.
I want to still talk about like how this is so different. I was just telling her about it. Like, I'm used to a process where we're just given a script and then we start doing the work. And I think the way that we're a little different is that by the time we're even midway inside of at least our process, which is creating a script, even if we had a traditional script in front of us, we would probably still do all this work first and movement work first before we even sit down at a table with that script.
Right.
And then we're not up on our feet until 4 or 5 months with that work. And that's how we're so different. And the great thing is then it allows all of you to like craft these spectacular characters, because you already know. I mean, it's, as like a producer or a director, you don't have to do anything when you have somebody like Chris that's been like in this world for 6 months, and he's like, I've even seen Max, and Max is like, I can write a whole part B to this. I can write the whole second chapter, because he's already been in it, and he does it through his acting. Right? It's just so powerful.
So powerful and so authentic, and I think that's the thing too, and hopefully curative and healing on a personal level too, which is different. I mean, I think as actors we can heal a lot through performing, and we can also get cathartic experiences as audience members, but really to do it from this way, it's almost like we're getting little healing moments, or maybe big healing moments along the way, that don't always happen in a rehearsal process. I don't know about for y'all, but my rehearsal processes in the past have sometimes been traumatic.
They've been very traumatic.
Not healing, the opposite. So to have this sort of a rehearsal process that hopefully brings us to maybe a different place where we're hugging at the end or something, is very different than at least something that I've experienced before as an actor. So that's also something that I think will shift in the ensemble because of the way that we connected prior to the show, right? The relationship building that's happening even before we get on our feet and before we're even out there. The knowledge and the comfort and the freedom to be truthful and honest and to know each other in ways that we would never have known before if we didn't take the time to spend understanding and listening to each other's stories. I don't know all of you very well, but now I already know you so much more just from hearing your stories than I would have ever known over a cocktail or in a rehearsal process, in a regular rehearsal process. So thank you all for that.
Yeah, there's this like sense of ownership that you're helping us create too, where you all get to share your narrative, and then that narrative will be reflective in the narrative we share with the people that come to see the show. And the cool thing is that people know, I think, from the performance alone and the energy that is in the space before they even walk in is already, right? It's already palpable. Like, I feel it when they generate that inside the building. Like she had done, a lot of you was there for Family Dollar, but your energy would fill that shotgun house before the show even started. And the minute you stood up and you spoke, the whole shotgun house already had that narrative vibing through it, because we had worked on it for so long, sitting on a floor of a tiny apartment, all of us figuring out what that story is and like getting to know the community. Yeah. So that if that feeling isn't there, that's something Michael and I talked about, was if we don't have that feeling, which intimidated us every day before we opened the doors, then we've done something wrong.
Yes.
If it doesn't feel completely unfamiliar every single night, we've done something wrong.
Because it means that we've left some of ourselves behind, and that we've created resonance, right? There's resonance. There's energetic resonance all the time happening around all of us, all the moments. And so if we haven't given that out, it's not going to be, and we don't feel that, then it's not going to be felt by the audience. And it's not transformative. in a lot of
No, it's
different ways.
not.
And
No.
what's the point? Isn't that our story's mission, right?
I mean, that's
It's
our
to
mission.
heal and transform, isn't it? I'm just making that up.
It is. It's 100%. It's 100% part of our
I
pillars.
thought
Yeah.
it was. I thought it was.
Yeah. But you all have built that. You know, and I think about that. Like, I didn't build that. Like, you built that, and you built that, and you built that. Like, we all built that. And like every time brick by brick. I mean, the initial project we all went through, you all built, because we had no idea what our distillery was until you all started showing up, and then you gave your creative genius and you created that. So when I see this and I see you leading this, it's just like this next chapter, this next level. And then to have these people in the space with their creative genius already have being understood and familiar with the work that we've done, and even for you, somebody that came and saw it doesn't feel so scary. This process doesn't feel so scary at all.
You can trust it. That's good.
You can trust it.
It's not a scary process. That's something we figured out.
No, I never feel like tension about a show opening. Like, I never feel like we're not going to make it through. Like 3 days beforehand, I'm like, I wish we could set this building on fire in some way where we don't have to do the show. Like, we're just not ready. But then we agreed that if we didn't feel that way, that we should have never done the process in the first place, but that we do feel that way because all of us are so raw. And like, we're so raw and we're so invested, and we are living these narratives in a whole different way. Like, we don't have to make up objectives by the time we're performing. Did you notice that? You didn't have to go back to actor training and like make up objectives. It's really weird. Like, we all lived in it for a year, and even when there was moments where audience members were following like Max around, they all said that Max had a different narrative every night that was completely fitting to the character and took them along with the storyline. I didn't even ever have to come listen to you because I already trusted that you knew it.
Yeah.
That's super interesting.
Yeah.
That's so different.
Yeah, well, it's autonomy, right? It's giving agency and autonomy and respect, and I hope y'all felt that in the show, and then also in our process today, is that you're the one creating this. This is your story. There's nothing that's being told to you that's being imposed on you, and I hope that you felt that, and we can talk about that today a little bit, but that idea that you have that freedom because it is your own thing, and then through that comes ownership, and then through that ownership comes authenticity, and then through that authenticity comes trust, and then through that trust comes an amazing show that's not being micromanaged or judged, and then you feel free.
Did you ever feel judged?
What, me in the show?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah, and